Welcome, one and all, to the very first official Square Peg podcast episode exclusively on the Square Peg podcast channel. I am your host, Roman, and so we have a very exciting show for you guys today. I wanted to cover first Donald Trump saying that apparently there's going to be a bloodbath if he's not reelected. Let's see.
During a campaign rally in Ohio on Saturday, former President Trump promised to place tariffs on cars manufactured abroad if he's reelected, and made a dire prediction of what would happen if he is not.
Now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it.
In response to the former president's comments, a campaign spokeswoman told NBC News Biden's policies will create an economic bloodbath for the auto industry and auto workers. A spokesman for President Biden's reelection campaign later said Mr. Trump was doubling down on his threats of political violence with that bloodbath comment.
So there you have it. You can think of it in any way that you would like to. Now, me personally, here's my thing about this whole thing, right? So I'm not entirely certain that Trump is flat out saying that there's gonna be blood or that it's gonna be a bloodbath. Like that's him threatening like civil war. I think he's threatening like another January 6th or something or something like along those lines, I think is what he is threatening. Um Now people are already online defending Trump saying, whoa, it was taken out of context, it was taken out of context, it was taken out of context. It fucking wasn't, but you know what? That's okay. That's all right. Um you are allowed to think what you want to think. Go on ahead. But what I will say is that he's had this behavior in the past. I mean, he flat out on January 6th told his supporters to go and storm the Capitol to take back what's yours. He said that. He's literally on video saying that. So I don't know exactly what more evidence you would need to know exactly what he means when he says that. It's not that there's any other context behind it. He meant what he said. But there's also this sickness within Trump people where they'll say, well, he didn't mean what he said. But then they'll say, oh, well, he meant what he said. Um, he he's a truth teller. He means what he says. Does he? Does he though? Does he? It's either he does or he doesn't. You can't have it both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't. You can't. You have to be fully nuanced. You have to have a coherent argument about whether or not he really means what he says. Does he mean it or does he not mean it? That is the question. Because it's not like, and this would not be okay in any other circumstance, okay? But he's running for the president of the United States. That's what he's running for. He's running to be president of the United States, not the Trump states, not the Biden states, the United States. Every state, all 50 states. Okay? So the fact that he said that and like he didn't even bat an eye, like there's things that you can criticize Trump for 100%, 100%. There's things that people have, misconstrued or stupid stuff that he said. Like he said, this is the wettest storm in the history, or from the perspective of water, when he was talking about a hurricane or something like along those lines. Like he said stupid stuff, whether it be at campaign rallies, on his Twitter. His brain is like melting, just like how Biden's is like already melted. But when it comes to this is where you got to call him out on it, because this is something that is not okay for him to say. This is not okay for him to say. And quite frankly,